Welcome to Museum Archipelago. I'm Ian Elsner. Museum Archipelago is your audio guide through the landscape of museums. Each episode is never longer than 15 minutes, so let's get started. During the planning stages of the Sofia metro in Bulgaria, ruins of an old Roman fortress and city wall were discovered at the network's proposed interchange station. This wasn't a surprise. People have been living in what is now Sofia for at least 4,000 years, and when you dig a tunnel, you're bound to find something. The agendas of archaeologists and metro builders are often contradictory. Metro builders want to proceed quickly, while archaeological examination, manual digging, careful conservation, and documentation can all be extremely time-consuming. So it was that the Sofia planners considered two options. As the UNESCO document dryly states, the first option was to move the underground station away from the archaeological reserve and to keep the archaeological finds for a future discovery. Of course, this idea would only work if the new station wouldn't unearth any interesting finds of its own. The second option was to build the interchange station beneath the archaeological reserve and piggyback the archaeological examination effort on the construction of the metro itself. In cooperation with the Bulgarian Committee for Culture, the second option was chosen. Despite the contradictory agendas of the archaeologists and the metro builders during the construction, the final station resolves the differences into a museum-metro station hybrid. In Sofia, there were reports of construction workers blowing up ancient artifacts to speed up the construction of the line. Public opinion teetered between outrage at the cost and time overruns due to the archaeological site and criticism of the restoration techniques. But today, commuters can see the artifacts from the metro construction in the station itself. That station is called Serdika Station after the name of the ancient city at the site. When you're waiting at the platform at Serdika Station, you can see rows and rows of artifacts unearthed during the metro construction. A guidebook for the city of Sofia says that the entrance fare to the metro is the cheapest museum experience in Bulgaria. The artifacts on the platform do not seem to be arranged in any particular order, but collectively they tell the story of Sofia's past, from the Neolithic to the construction of the metro station. With an excellent set of maps and informative labels in both Bulgarian and English, these exhibits give a good introduction to the archaeology of Sofia. A pedestrian underpass gives commuters another chance to see the unearthed artifacts on display. Sofia's Serdika Station is just one example of this museum-metro station hybrid. Metro systems in cities like Mexico City, Istanbul, and Rome have stations featuring artifacts unearthed during their construction. Maybe the word museum is an overstatement. These environments are museum-like places with artifacts in glass cases and placards explaining their importance. These hybrids can be a natural fit for the display of archaeological objects. For one, the artifacts displayed there were unearthed during construction of that metro station. It's a local affair. Since the ancient cities were smaller than the cities are today, in part because of the metro systems, the museum metro station hybrids are usually in the center of town, where the old cities were. There's no metro system where every single station features a museum-like place. For another, going down underground presents a cross-section of history. In Athens, the Syntagma Square metro station features glass walls, through which commuters can see the layers of history at the site. As commuters go down the escalators, they see the span of Athens history, starting with the more recent Byzantine times, moving down through Roman, ancient Greek, and finally prehistoric, including the open grave of an ancient necropolis which originally existed there. Since Athens has strict preservation laws, the metro lines that were built for the 2004 Olympics were one of the few new archaeological sites in the city itself. These sites sit in metro stations under glass in the sidewalk, allowing visitors to see the ruins on their daily commute. Going underground is the act of being compressed, not only in space, but also in time. Metro systems warp geography by bringing some distant places closer together. They can also warp time, bringing modern commuters closer to the ancient history of their cities. When you're impatiently waiting for your delayed train to arrive, it can be calming to see what has been preserved underground in the very same spot thousands of years before. These museum-like places offer a perspective that otherwise would only be encountered in a more formal museum setting. Because these encounters are not a museum, but instead tied to a practical routine, the museum-like space can feel like a welcome escape. This has been Museum Archipelago. We hope you enjoyed your visit. Notes on this episode can be found at museumarchipelago.com. Next time, bring a friend.